This is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. I'm sitting in front of my strawberry bed, and I was inspired today to actually make a recipe using fresh picked strawberries and some other things around my garden. So I could enter a contest entitled the Hot Raw Chef Contest. So this video is the extended length version at the Hot Raw Chef Contest. They made me cut it down to 5 minutes, but you guys are getting the full extended length version. And if you enjoy my videos, the one way you can pay me back today is actually go to hotrawchef.com to vote for my videos so that I can win. Please go to Hot Raw Chef and vote for me. In any case, let's get started and go around my garden to show you how I use some of the fresh ingredients and some of the foods that I grow here. So now I'm in my strawberry patch, and we're going to pick some fresh strawberries for the dressing I'm going to make. And I want to encourage you to always use the freshest and highest quality ingredients. And I found that even going to farmers markets, the quality wasn't high enough for me, so I really had to grow my own in compost and rock dust minerals to get the full flavor of the food to come out. So I don't need to use any additives like salt to make my food taste good, because if your food had the nutrients and minerals in it, it would taste good by itself without any additives. So let's go ahead and pick some of these strawberries. You can see I have so many strawberries here hiding from me. We just need to simply remove some of the leaves out of the way and brush them back. And here is a nice red strawberry. All right, so here's the last strawberry to fill up my pint. Now, strawberries are really delicious foods. They're also very nutritious. They're high in antioxidants. They fight inflammation, but they don't ripen after picking. So it's very important to pick them as ripe as possible. So I'm picking the ripe ones here, but if you're not, you want to get them at a farmer's market. They're definitely fresher and riper, and you want to be able to make sure they're as dark, deep red as possible. The other thing many people don't know is that even organic strawberries bought in the store have been sprayed with copper so that they actually resist of going bad. And so then you're ingesting more copper in your diet. So that's something to be aware of. Let's move on and pick the spinach next. So we're standing in another area of my garden, and we're gonna pick some fresh spinach. So yes, this is what spinach looks like when it grows up a little bit. These nice little tasty leaves are so delicious when they're fresh picked. Now, spinach is high in folate and also other antioxidants. Let me go ahead and fill up this bowl with some fresh spinach. So I think I'm done finished picking all the fresh spinach. Now, when you grow your own food, you get to choose when to harvest it. I mostly harvested all the little baby tender leaves for my spinach, so that's definitely a plus. Next thing, we got to harvest the last thing, and that's right in front of me. As you can see here, I have all these amazing pansies growing, and flowers are the next ingredients that's going to go into the salad. Here's some orange pansies. I got purple pansies. We got white pansies. We got lavender pansies. We got all different color pansies. I'm going to pick a whole bunch of flowers to dress up the salad. Besides looking pretty to the eyes, flowers are functional. They're high in antioxidants, but remember, they spoil really fast after you pick them, so it's best to grow your own. I'm going to go ahead and fill this bowl up with some flowers. So here's the last pansy flower going into the dish. Now, these are all edible flowers. Another one that's common that you may know are dandelion flowers. Now, they don't taste as good as pansy flowers, but they're also edible. So I highly encourage you to use some edible flowers in all your creations. So now we're in my backyard, and I have a container garden with fruit trees. So even in containers, this tangerine tree, this is an Ortanique tangerine. We're gonna go ahead and pick this, and this tangerine is gonna go into our dressing. So now that I've got all the ingredients, let's go out in front and make this dressing. So now that we've picked all our ingredients, we're ready to make the delicious dressing. And let me first go ahead and introduce all the ingredients. Once again, we have a bowl of fresh picked spinach, a little bowl of fresh picked flowers, a half cup of raw macadamia nuts, and 1 pint of freshly picked strawberries, plus our little tangerine. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this dressing in the blender. I'm using a Vitamix Turbo Blend VS today, and that comes with this normal 64-ounce carafe, but we're not gonna use this because I find that it's really hard to get dressings out of a tall carafe such as this. We're gonna set that to the side, and I prefer this carafe here. This is a 32-ounce carafe. Works a lot better, a little bit more squared off, easy to get your dressings out of. We're gonna go ahead and put that on top. We're gonna go ahead and cut our tangerine in half. Oh man, that looks like a good one. So this one's a seedless tangerine, and I'm just gonna squeeze the juice literally into the blender. If it did have seeds, I would go ahead and put it in the nut milk bag and literally squeeze it. So this will squeeze out all the juice in the blender craft and not get any of the seeds in there. Now if you do blend up the seeds, that's alright, you can't eat them, but it's gonna make whatever you're eating taste really bitter. Let's go ahead and throw that other half in there. So we're using basically the juice of one tangerine. Now you could also use a orange or other citrus fruit if you don't have any tangerines handy. So real simple, real easy. Let's go ahead and squeeze the rest of that juice out, just like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our 1 pint of strawberries. And finally, we're going to add our ½ cup of macadamia nuts. Next, all we need to do is simply put on the blender top and start to blend. Alright, so that'll do it. That'll make a nice creamy strawberry dressing. And now all we have to simply do is pour that over our spinach. Once again, you can use this over noodles, over pasta noodles, made with a spiralizer machine. And the other trick I like to do is, because we're using expensive ingredients and high quality ingredients, I want to get every last bit out of the blender carafe. And I have this nice spatula that I got. It's nice and long, and it allows you to get actually underneath the blade to scoop out all that delicious dressing. So as you can see, we're getting every last bit of dressing onto the salad, and you can use this dressing, for a multitude of uses. You could put in wraps, put it over noodles, or whatever you want. Sometimes I'll just put it over cut up cucumbers or even celery. Next, we're going to take our beautiful flowers and sprinkle them on there. The more flowers, the better. It makes it look pretty. Plus, there's a lot of antioxidants in the flowers. So there it is. That's how easy it is to make a salad out of the garden with a creamy strawberry dressing. So here is the final result, the creamy strawberry dressing over our fresh picked spinach leaves. Now you can use any leaves or greens in your garden. You could even put broccoli pieces in there, broccoli florets, cut up some celery, or whatever, salad fixings you would like under the dressing. So I really enjoyed making this dressing for you today. The other thing to remember is that you can use different nuts. If you don't have raw macadamia nuts, use some almonds, use some pecans, use some hazelnuts, or whatever you have. So once again, this was a recipe with under 5 ingredients, mostly out of my garden. And once again, this recipe was made for a contest I'm entering called the Hot Raw Chef Contest. So hopefully I'm hot, and hopefully this is raw, and hopefully I win the contest. But I need your guys' help, so please go to hotrawchef.com to vote for me. Don't forget, please vote for me. I need your help. Once again, this is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. Remember, go to hotrawchef.com. We'll see you next time, and keep on growing.